Think about it. Bodybuilding is really about faith in your work to see the end result and faith in your work that is going to reflect exactly how you envision. What's up, guys? We are now here at Dragons again, my favorite gym, my home gym, and we're gonna be training push. I know some of you guys haven't been seeing me doing much push, which actually I have a gym in my house, a garage, so I like to do my push day there because I have all my cables, I have my dumbbells. But I was talking to Dom and I noticed a little bit of a difference with my shoulders. I want to bring them back to life a little bit in my chest too. So of course we're going to be implementing some push days here in the gym. So today is it. Of course, for some people out there is the International Chest Day, Monday. But we're going to be implementing triceps and shoulders. So what I have in mind is going to be 2 exercises for chest. Then we're going to jump into shoulders, and then we're going to finish with some triceps. I already did my cardio in the morning. I'm still technically, for those who follow me, you knew that I was counting on doing Chicago, but I'm actually aiming now for Tampa. And the reason behind it is that I want to do as many shows as I can because it might be my last season on stage. Of course, it's so hard for me to say that, and I already shared that with you guys, but it's very important for me to go back to focus on other things, because a preparation for a bodybuilding show, it's a serious thing. And you have to dedicate, for you to be able to do it well, you have to dedicate a lot of time to it. So a lot of things in your life become secondary. And I think I'm already at a point in my life that I want to make the other things the primary things in my life. And for me to continue with my competitiveness itch, I might, get into a little bit of a CrossFit. I've always been a fan of CrossFit. I'm gonna get into maybe some Tough Mudder races or Spartan. I don't know. I definitely have to find something to get that itch. And I'm excited to see what the next chapter is going to be for me. But going back to today, what we're doing today, is getting ready to Tampa. And then, so potentially it's gonna be Tampa, Atlanta, depending on how things go. Texas, definitely want some pictures and videos from Texas because I think the lighting is great. And that's what I'm focusing on, is to create as many memories and many great images from all of my work. So we're aiming for big shows. We're aiming to jump on the stage with a lot of great competitors. And I think this is what a true competitor is all about. We are not really worried about what's going on as far as our left or right, who is stepping on the stage with us or not. We're just worried about making sure we're bringing our best, and whatever happens that day, we know that we are stepping away and we have that image in our minds of like, I did my best and I looked my best. For example, we just had an incredible showing last weekend for 2 of our athletes from Best Build, Stanimo and Susan. Susan got 2nd, Stanimo, I believe he got 6th or 7th. But both of them were so happy with their package, I overheard their conversation with Dom, their coaches, and I heard the excitement that they had when they saw the pictures and the videos of the package that they presented together. And I think that that's truly what being a bodybuilder is all about. When you look at your pictures, you look at your videos, and you analyze, okay, love how my shoulders look, my biceps, my quads, abs are tight, glutes might be missing a little bit of glutes, maybe I can work a little bit more on that, or missing a little bit of hamstrings, I can work on that. So you kind of look at your pictures as if you are an artist, so you kind of appreciate the things that you did right, and then you also, criticize a little bit of the things that you can do better. And I think it's a part of the nature of being a good competitor too, is for the gratitude of a job well done, and also that voice in your mind that you could do better. And I think it's nature for all top competitors out there. But with that being said, that's what I wish for my last season, is to look at the pictures and look at the videos and have all those amazing moments to remember forever. And some of you guys know that I am working on a new business with my business partner from New York. He's actually from Brazil, but he lives in New York. His name is Renan Santos. He's actually an architect, but he is now a fashion designer. And it's interesting because there are a lot of stories of fashion designers who were or are architects. And I can see the similarities when he is actually, building all the collections that we are about to come out with next year. The brand is called Offstage and is all about creating clothing for muscular bodies, but it's not just for muscular bodies, it's for anybody, to be honest. But they will look really well for muscular bodies too, because they're so customized. And on top of that, it has a little touch of really fashion, and a person who understands fashions and angles and customizing everything for everyone. Because I think we are right now in an era where we're kind of stuck. People who are a little bit older, or people who have a little bit more of a luxurious or fine taste, we don't know where to go in the fitness industry, right? We have a younger generation with their brands, and the brands become a little bit of their culture. And the culture might not necessarily represent somebody who is a little bit more mature, but that person might not want to go for a Prada or a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton when they go to an expo or when they go to a check-in. So we are kind of combining a little bit of a streetwear with some fine designed and luxurious feel, and kind of meet everybody in the middle for people who actually can grab a piece of clothing and understand that there are a lot of planning in that particular piece, and appreciate the texture and appreciate the colors and appreciate the angles and appreciate two bodybuilders, because Renan is also a bodybuilder, two bodybuilders coming together and presenting that to the industry. But again, this is gonna be for anybody who are into fashion, but especially for people in the industry who are kind of stuck in the middle, all right? So enough, because I am, like I said, I'm still in prep, right? So I needed to be mindful of my time and my food. I just had my pre-workout about 40 minutes ago. So I am about to rock this workout, go back home and eat, and go back to work. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna just warm up over here. Gonna warm up with some flies. Do you guys remember a last video I did here? And I was doing this exercise and I was a little bit more fluffy. Look at this now. Where's the fluff? Let's go. 7 weeks out. When you're like 8-7 weeks out from your first show, coming from a off season, you're in a weird spot where you're not fat, but you're not super lean. You're kind of flat because you're having some lows on carbs, so low carb days. And you feel like you're not really getting ready, and then sometimes you see some differences in your quads, and you see a little bit on your abs, and you see a little bit on your triceps and shoulders, and then the next day it's gone. And it fucks with your mind. So that's why I say the best athletes are the ones who just completely turn everything off. Even when I do my check-ins, sometimes I send my check-ins to Dom I don't even look at them. I let him look. I let him tell me what to do. And I don't overthink. Just don't overthink. Last one here. Wow. Hell yeah. We're gonna go now to another chest workout, another chest exercise, and then we're gonna get into shoulders, which is my favorite. So I'm gonna do one more set, and then I'm gonna drop set, and then it's gonna be probably it for chest today, because I really want to focus on shoulders, so I can save a little bit more energy for that. Tomorrow's gonna be leg day. Wednesday's gonna be back day. Thursday's gonna be glutes. Friday, I'm gonna do a touch of shoulders and back, and then Saturday is gonna be leg day again, and then Sunday I'm gonna be off. So this week I'm gonna talk to Dom and see if it's okay for me to train 6 days instead of 5, because I feel like I can push. I want to push a little bit more. So let's see what he says. He's huge on recovery, and I understand that. I needed to actually come down sometimes because I'm super active. But I wanted to see if maybe I can replace my cardio with a lift. Gonna drop set. A lot of blood. Chest is one of those muscles that you need for a women's physique, but you also don't need to have a whole day for them, because we have already so many things that we have to focus on. It's back, arms, quads, hamstrings, glutes. Sometimes I wish I could be in a category where I'm just, training one particular muscle group, like wellness. If I had maybe that genetics that Christina does, that'd be nice. But I love training back. I love shoulders. I love a nice pair of biceps. So I'm stuck into women's physique. All right, so now we're starting with shoulders. I'm gonna do about 12 here. Whew. Just a quick warm up, and then we're gonna get into the working sets. I'm gonna put about 10, and then I'll go into the 45s. I shouldn't have done 12, to be honest. I kind of got carried away. I should have done 12 to warm up and then do a little bit of a fitter set and then go into my working set. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh yeah. Oh, that was good. I think I can go a little bit heavier and then do a rest pause. So I'm gonna probably put 10 more pounds and then I'm gonna do about 4. I'm gonna rest for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, do another 4, rest a little bit more and then do another 4 for a total of potentially 12. I'm gonna go back to another press. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of a press on a Smith machine because that was weak. Felt so strong earlier, but again, I gotta remember myself. I did a lot of like work at home. I was moving a lot of boxes around because I got some shirts that you guys are aware, and maybe you burned me out a little bit because there were a lot of heavy packages. Think about it, bodybuilding is really about faith in your work to see the end result, and faith in your work that is going to reflect exactly how you envision, which very rarely that happens because again, like I said, it's our nature to always have those critical eyes to look at something and be like, I could have done better, I could be better. And that's what makes us who we are, competitive. But when you actually see, when you really stop to think about, and I'm sure everybody who is a bodybuilder who is watching this, you remember when you were young, just entering the gym and seeing all the big guys and seeing all the big girls. Very rarely we saw big girls in gyms, right? But in my era, I would think of legends of the sport, and just imagine myself ever becoming somewhat similar to them, right? So when you remember your humble beginnings, those very first days, and then you kind of look at yourself now, wherever you are in your path, in your journey, you gotta give a quick second of a high five and a fist bump of like, I've really stuck to my vision and I stuck with my dreams and I'm making it happen, you know? And then you kind of snap out of it, and then you kind of getting tuned again with that hungry, you know, part of yourself that wants to improve, that wants more, that wants to become better. So you have that edge of always doing better, always doing things to improve yourself in any aspect of your life, right? In your career, in your sport, in your relationship. It's important that even in your relationship, you never take it for granted. It's not that you have been with somebody for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years that you're gonna stop, cooking for that person when you can, taking some flowers to your girl when you can, putting yourself together for the person once in a while, for the girl to kind of have the intimate moment, sexy moment with their partners. I think that's the person who is excellent and have excellence as a mindset takes that in every aspect of their lives, not just in the gym, but also in your career. If your career is also outside the gym, if you have a coaching business, if you have a clothing business like myself, what your excellence is a mindset. Your discipline that you build through the sport is your mindset, and you take that in every aspect of your life. So that was my 2 cents. Somebody stole my my 20 pounds while I was giving you guys this whole speech. But you guys already know me. I talk a lot. That was actually good that he stole my 20s, because I did it with 25 and I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to do that because I have a little bit of a injury in my left shoulder, but that was good. I didn't feel anything. So I think I might be moving up to 30 and see how it feels. Now we're gonna do my favorite here. We're gonna combine these two movements with laterals and then overhead towards the last 2 sets. gosh. I think it's time for me to start implementing some abs too. Have to do some abs, probably in the morning after my cardio. I can tell too, another thing that I noticed the difference is that the days that I do Stairmaster is usually the days that I do push day or back day. I don't do Stairmaster on a leg day or a day after leg day. So yesterday was my off day, today is my push day, so I start the day with Stairmaster. But usually I feel a little bit more exhausted. So if I were to do my long walks, like a 30 minutes, 40 minutes walk that I do, on at least 3 or 4 times a week, I'm stronger on those days. But if I start the day with Stairmaster, I feel a good 15% less strength. Because Stairmaster, if you really think about it, it's a pretty complete cardio, right? Your heart rate is at least 115 or 120 the entire time. You know, of course, if you're not just dragging yourself, if you're actually doing the correct way, your heart rate is it's high, right? It's about 120, 130, depending, for a good 30 minutes. So, and you already are on a deficit, and then on top of that, you're doing everything else. So like the caloric output is much higher on that day. So it's kind of normal that you feel a little bit more tired, I would say. I don't know. I feel like I'm finding all the excuses in the world right now. Not to be 100% strong, but take it or leave it. You guys get it. People who are competitors, you guys get it. You guys get it. And you guys know I'm not a lazy person. So I really mean what I'm saying. Let's go. So now we are gonna go towards the last exercise for shoulders. We're gonna do a little bit of rear delts, and I like to touch a little bit of that too on my back day. So we're gonna do about 2 working sets here, and then we're gonna go to 2 exercises for triceps, and then that's it for today. Let's go. Oh yeah. One more. Come on, come on. This is one of those exercises that you don't necessarily need to go that heavy. So maybe I went a little bit too heavy, because you are actually aiming for such a small, I mean, I wouldn't say small, right? But yeah, it's such a detailed muscle. And if I go too heavy, I'm gonna start doing again the traps, right? We don't want that. So I need to relax my traps and just focus on the exercise and the correct form. So I'm gonna stay where I am, and then I think I'm gonna drop. So I'm gonna do a drop set on my last set. I'm gonna do a little drop set here. So drop sets I actually leave for the last exercises so I don't burn myself out, because I want to aim for some solid set. But when I'm going towards my last exercises, then I can do some drop sets. That's it. Any more than that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some triceps here, and I want to do some abs too. I'm gonna do a superset. Oh, actually no, sorry. I'm gonna leave it right here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of those mats right there. I'm gonna put it here. So I'm gonna do a superset of triceps with abs. I can go a little heavier. Oh yeah. Oof. Last exercise, and then we're gonna go home and eat. Glorious. It's just unfortunate sometimes, you know, because the coach gives so much, and then some athletes just don't. I mean, they don't listen, they don't care, they don't appreciate the extra. It's like, for example, you work here, you know, your job is to, among all of your responsibilities, is to assure that it's customer service or whatever, right? But you don't necessarily need to give, let's say, a snack for everyone when they're leaving, just as an example. But you do. Then all of a sudden, by the third day, if you don't, the person starts to think that you're not doing your job. Or if they say, I'm not going to Dragons anymore, and they never say, hey, thank you for everything you've done there and for the extra mile. People don't have that touch when it comes to Dom. Because you sign up with Dom, You get what every other coach gives, which is a meal plan, a training plan, a supplement, but you start to get extras, right? You get a phone call with his partner from New York for blood work that is cheaper. You get a discount with this and that. God forbid you have a problem with your heart. He goes above and beyond to set you with a cardiologist. Then you go and you say, hey, it's not working anymore. Bye, see ya. I know, listen, it's a business at the same time, you know? And there are so many ways to end that business. But it just puzzles me when people don't have the touch to say, can I give you a call? Thank you for your time. Thank you for the extras. But I decided to go a different way. Like, people don't have the finesse in anything. Because even here, don't get me wrong, even here, if one day I decided to go to a different gym, or even if I move away from the city, you can be sure that I'm calling Flex. You know, it's just how I am. And it just makes me...
Like, he hadn't even checked in with me from June until September. Like, no check-in or anything. And I just was like, hey, can I call you? And he, like, I think he knew I was leaving, so he kept, like, dodging my phone calls. And then I finally, like, got him on a call. And I was like, but, because people were like, you tried getting on a call, just send him a message. It's like, that's not how I am. Like, I've been with this person for a long time. The least I can do is give them a phone call, thank you for their time, and let them know it's not personal. You know?
I did the same thing with all of my old coaches. Alright guys, so I think we're done for today. I'm so excited to go eat. What I do actually, right after training, I take a little bit of I take 2 pills of glucose disposal agent, Matador, by Project AD. And the reason why is because my blood sugar is probably a little bit elevated right now because of training, which is quite normal. Might not be as high after, like, let's say a leg day. I'm getting hungrier, so I know I'm almost there. But after a leg day or a back day, which usually my heavy days, it takes me a little bit of time to get hungry. And the reason why is because after a heavy training day, your blood sugar actually spikes. And anybody who uses those monitors, there are a lot of people that use those monitors, they can see that they start to peak right after doing the workouts and right after the workout. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 capsules of Matador, a glucose disposal agent, and by the time I go home, I'm gonna be ready to eat. Tomorrow's gonna be leg day, so I wanna make sure that I am rested for that. Probably gonna go to bed pretty early too, and then that's another thing that I wanna tell you guys, how important it is to recover. So when you are on prep, it's extremely important that you have time to go to bed and have time to get up, so your body actually gets adjusted to the time, as opposed to just sleeping anytime you want and waking up at any time we want. And you guys know, because especially when you are on prep, and for those who don't know, when we are on prep, we have our meals timed, and we want to make sure that we are eating at least 3 hours before we go to bed, and that we are also starting to eat as early as we can, so we can actually finish all of our meals. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going to bed early at a specific time every night at 9 o'clock, and then waking up early to get my cardio done and my first meal by 7 a.m. All right, guys? So next time, you're probably going to see me with Levina. Levina is coming from Los Angeles here to Las Vegas. I'm super excited to have her back here in the channel. We're going to be doing tons of content for you guys while she's here. And then hopefully, not this weekend, but next weekend, we're going to be going to Los Angeles with Carol. And we're going to get a lot of content with Levy there as well at Gold's Gym Venice. All right, guys? See you then. Bye.